The world of women's basketball has officially erupted, not shaken, not stirred, but blown wide open, after a decision so shocking, so unexpected, so violently polarizing that even veteran reporters are calling it the biggest Team USA controversy in modern history. Because in a move no one predicted, Kara Lawson just made a choice that detonated the entire sports universe. She picked Caitlin Clark for Team USA. And A'ja Wilson broke. We're not talking frustration. We're not talking disappointment. We're talking full-on tears, storming out of the gym, slamming a locker door, and unleashing a backstage explosion that sources say rattled the entire roster. Minutes after the announcement, a leaked recording surfaced, muffled, shaky, but unmistakable, capturing Wilson saying the 5 words that have already set the internet on fire. She wasn't supposed to be chosen. Fans froze. Comment sections detonated. Multiple NBA stars reacted instantly. WNBA veterans posted cryptic messages. And Team USA officials allegedly scrambled to contain a situation spiraling out of control. Because this wasn't just about a roster spot. This was about old power versus new power. Legacy versus momentum. Establishment versus phenomenon. And the moment Caitlin Clark's name was called, the balance of power inside Team USA shifted forever. But the real shock. Sources say A'ja's meltdown wasn't just emotional. It was triggered by a backstage betrayal so explosive that even players are whispering. Someone set her up. And tonight, for the first time, we're revealing everything. Nobody inside Team USA's training facility expected the announcement that morning to spark the greatest internal meltdown the program had seen in over a decade. Coaches whispered. Players shifted anxiously. Staff exchanged glances like they already sensed something tectonic was about to crack open beneath them. And then Kara Lawson stepped forward. Cleared her throat. Read one name. Caitlin Clark. The silence that followed wasn't awe. It was shock. Half the room froze. Half the room gasped. One person, the person everyone assumed was guaranteed a spot, stared straight ahead like she'd just been blindsided by betrayal itself. A'ja Wilson didn't blink. Didn't breathe. Didn't move. Then her jaw tightened. Her chest rose sharply. Her eyes went glassy. Everyone saw it. The exact moment disbelief mutated into fury. Within seconds, the news exploded across the internet. Every outlet. Every sports page. Every account that lived and breathed basketball. But while fans screamed and hashtags formed like storm clouds, something far more volatile was unfolding behind the closed doors of Team USA's locker hallway. An assistant coach, who later leaked a sliver of audio, claimed the first words out of A'ja's mouth were whispered through clenched teeth. She wasn't supposed to be chosen. Those 5 words detonated online within minutes, reshaping the entire narrative. Because A'ja didn't say she didn't expect it. She said Caitlin wasn't supposed to be chosen. Supposed by who? According to what plan? Under what understanding? Reporters immediately dug deeper, and within an hour, an insider posted, this decision went against certain expectations. Let's just say not everyone in the room was informed. Informed. As if a prearranged agreement had been broken. Meanwhile, inside the facility, the chaos was personal and raw. A player described A'ja as crushed, blindsided, cornered, before correcting herself to the far harsher term, betrayed. Another source said A'ja whispered to a teammate, she knew. Caitlin knew before I did. That rumor spread like wildfire, the idea that Caitlin Clark had been tipped off early, while Wilson was kept in the dark. No one could confirm it. But the tension fed on itself. Then came the leak that froze fans nationwide. A blurry 6-second clip of Wilson storming out of the main room, wiping her face, whispering something into her phone. Audio filters enhanced the words. "They set me up." Those 4 words ignited an entirely new level of speculation. Because suddenly this wasn't just competition. It wasn't about performance or stats or roles. This was political, internal, coordinated. And someone, according to Adja, had orchestrated her downfall. Minutes later, a staff member posted anonymously, "There was a closed-door conversation last week." Adja believes she was promised something that changed at the last moment. What changed? Who changed it? Why? Fans demanded answers, and they weren't alone. Several players, who had expected to remain neutral, found themselves pulled into the blast radius. One veteran guard liked a post that read, "They picked sides." Another commented, "It's not about basketball anymore." That comment vanished within 50 seconds, but screenshots were everywhere. Meanwhile, reporters noted that Lawson avoided mentioning Adja's name during the announcement altogether, fueling even more guesses that tension had been brewing long before selection day. But the real shock arrived when a basketball insider dropped the most viral leak of the morning. Adja wasn't just emotional. She confronted the staff. The account released a partial transcript of what they claimed was a heated exchange, just minutes after Caitlin's name was announced. The text was shaky, probably quickly typed, but the message was unmistakable. Adja allegedly said, "You told me I had time. You told me the decision wasn't final." To which a staff member reportedly replied, "Plans changed." Those 2 words, "plans changed," became the #1 trending phrase across all sports platforms by noon. Because who changes Olympic decisions at the last second? Who has that power? And why did those plans suddenly shift in Caitlin Clark's favor? To make matters worse, another leak landed like a meteor, a secret recording from inside the hallway backroom, featuring muffled voices that analysts attributed to a staffer and an assistant coach. The assistant whispered, "Kara went with her gut." The staffer replied, "No. Kara went with the pressure." Pressure. A word that launched an entire new conspiracy thread. Was it sponsors? Was it fan demand? Was it television networks? Was it internal politics? Speculation tore through social media like a wildfire in high winds. And then, just when the internet believed the situation couldn't escalate further, a new video surfaced. Adja Wilson sitting alone on a bench. Head in her hands. Shoulders shaking. Someone approached her, the camera caught only their hand, offering comfort. Adja replied through tears, "This wasn't supposed to happen. She wasn't supposed to take my spot." Take my spot. That was the moment everything imploded. Because Adja didn't say a spot. She said my spot. As if she believed the role belonged to her by right, by seniority, by unspoken agreement. Within minutes, fans of both players were at war online. Veterans versus rookies. Legacy versus momentum. Old guard versus new phenomenon. But the powder keg was still building. Because another insider stepped forward, dropping the most shocking claim yet. Adja believed the coaches gave her a verbal assurance. That allegation ricocheted through every corner of the basketball world. Was it true? Was it miscommunication? Was it ego? Or was it something darker? Players refused to comment when asked. Lawson refused as well. Team USA released a carefully neutral statement that said absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark herself, the eye of the storm, stayed silent. And that silence only made the tension worse. Because the leaks kept coming. A coach reportedly texted another staff member, "This is going to get ugly." A reporter overheard one Olympic official mutter, "This is why we didn't want this leak out yet." Yet, 2 coaches. 2. And they are pretending they didn't say it. That audio alone split the basketball world in half. Because if Aja was telling the truth, this wasn't just heartbreak. This was betrayal. Then another layer dropped. A staffer leaked a text thread, allegedly from inside the Team USA group chat, where one anonymous veteran wrote, "This isn't right. Promises were made." Another added, "They switched the plan at the last second." But the most chilling message came from someone whose identity fans still haven't decoded. She should have been told before the announcement. That one line became the top trending post online. Meanwhile, inside the facility, Caitlin Clark sat quietly in a conference room as assistants explained her media schedule and next steps protocol. But even those present said she wasn't smiling. She wasn't celebrating. She kept glancing at the door. At the hallway. At the empty seat across from her. A reporter later revealed, she looked like she knew the entire world had just shifted. Then came the twist nobody expected. A leak from a Team USA coach, the first internal betrayal from the staff, exposed a piece of the truth Kara Lawson never intended to be public. According to the anonymous coach, Kara didn't want tears. She didn't want drama. That's why she didn't tell Aja early. Fans reacted with immediate backlash. She hid it. She knew it would break Aja. She let her find out with everyone watching. And then the coach added a second message. Kara wanted to avoid the backlash. Backlash from who? Theories erupted. Sponsors. Networks. Veteran players. Or maybe, from Caitlin Clark's enormous fan base. While the internet spiraled, another bomb dropped from a completely different angle. A video from inside the facility, filmed by someone behind a cracked office door, revealed something shocking. Kara Lawson pacing the hallway, phone pressed to her ear, voice tense. "No. She didn't take anyone's spot," Lawson said. "She earned the spot. And we needed her leadership." Leadership. That single word sent fans into chaos. But the recording wasn't over. "She's the one who can handle the pressure," Kara added. "She's the one who won't break." And that line, that destroyed social media. Because it sounded like Lawson wasn't just choosing Caitlin. She was rejecting Aja's emotional temperament. Fans screamed. Did she call Aja weak? Is this why she wasn't chosen? Was Aja's meltdown the exact reason she wasn't picked? But then, as if the universe wanted to set the internet on fire, a staffer leaked the rest of the recording. Kara said, "I watched the last 2 seasons. I know who starts conflict and who ends it." That was interpreted as a direct shot at Aja. Inside the facility, tension thickened like fog. Players were stuck between loyalty and reality. One teammate whispered, "You could feel the air tighten when that clip dropped." Another said, "Some girls were scared to even look at their phones." Meanwhile, someone close to Aja posted a cryptic Instagram story. They pushed the wrong one. The post vanished 30 seconds later, but not before tens of thousands screenshot it. Then, around noon, the biggest twist of the day emerged. A secret message Aja allegedly sent to a teammate right after walking out. The message read, "I know who did this. And I'm not letting her hide behind the coaches. Her. Not them. Not the system. Not the decision makers. Her." Fans lost their minds trying to decode who Aja meant. Did she mean Kara Lawson? Did she mean another player lobbying for Caitlin? Did she mean a rival athlete influencing staff behind the scenes? Nobody knew. Then another leak clarified everything and made it 10 times worse. A screen recording of a private DM between 2 WNBA players surfaced. Player 1, Aja thinks Kelsey was involved. Player 2, Kelsey Plum. Player 1, yeah. She thinks KP pushed for Caitlyn. Player 2, oh, this is about to get bad. The internet erupted. Fans began dissecting every past interaction between Aja Wilson and Kelsey Plum, looking for tension, shade, coldness, clipped replies, anything that hinted at a deeper rift. And they found plenty. Clips resurfaced. Snarky exchanges went viral. Old interviews were reanalyzed in slow motion. The narrative built itself. But the twist wasn't done. Because while the world was busy tearing into the Plum-Wilson dynamic, another leak, the biggest yet, hit X like a nuclear blast. A partial transcript of a heated confrontation between Aja and someone else from the Team USA staff. The transcript read, Aja, you told me it was mine. Staffer, things changed. Aja, because SHE made a call. Staffer, that's not what happened. Aja, don't lie to me. I know who Kara listened to. The internet went feral. Who made the call? Who is she talking about? Which player did Aja accuse? Every theory skyrocketed. Some said Brianna Stewart. Some said Diana Taurasi. Some said a powerful veteran with Olympics influence. Some even whispered that a major sponsor demanded Caitlyn be added. But then, the final leak of Part 2 hit. A video from a practice court hallway. Aja Wilson standing face-to-face with a star Team USA veteran, identity blurred, but voice unmistakable. Aja shouted, if you're going to take my dream from me, at least admit you were the one who pushed for it. The veteran snapped back, you weren't the right fit. You know that. A gasp. A hush. A team trainer stepping between them. And the clip ended there. The internet lost its mind. Because for the first time ever, the world saw it. This wasn't just Aja versus Caitlyn. This was Aja versus an entire power circle inside Team USA. A circle she believed stabbed her in the back. But the true bombshell hadn't detonated yet. Because one final message leaked from Aja's inner circle. She's confronting Caitlyn next. The moment the rumor spread that Aja Wilson was headed toward Caitlyn Clark's private media room, Team USA staff went into full panic mode. Assistants sprinted down hallways. Security exchanged nervous glances. A coach muttered, not today. Not like this. But Aja was moving with purpose, fast, emotional, unstoppable, tears still streaking her face, fists clenched, jaw set like she had finally decided this wasn't just disappointment. This was war. Inside the media prep room, Caitlyn sat alone at the table, hands folded, staring at the outline of her schedule. She hadn't touched her water bottle. She hadn't spoken a word. She was waiting for something. Or someone. And then the door swung open. Aja stepped inside. The tension became a physical force, heavy, suffocating, electric. A staffer tried to follow Aja into the room, but Aja turned her head sharply. Close the door. It shut. What happened next wasn't supposed to leak. It wasn't supposed to be recorded. But someone close enough to hear, but far enough to stay hidden, captured fragments of the confrontation through a thin wall. The audio spilled online within an hour. Aja's voice came first, broken but fierce. You knew. You knew before they told me. Caitlyn's reply was soft, steady, unshaken. No, Aja. I found out this morning. Aja snapped back, don't lie. They don't blindside people like me unless someone told them to. Silence. Then Caitlyn whispered, I didn't take anything from you. Aja's answer was sharp enough to cut glass. Then why was my name written out and yours written in? Fans froze. And right there, on the left margin, scribbled in ink, CC guaranteed. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. That word detonated across the sports world. Aja wasn't imagining betrayal. Aja wasn't overreacting. Aja wasn't misreading signals. Someone forced Caitlyn's inclusion. And someone removed Aja. But then the story twisted again, violently, when a new anonymous source stepped forward claiming, the person who pushed hardest for Caitlyn wasn't a sponsor. It wasn't a network. It wasn't even a coach. Short pause. Then the bombshell, it was a player. The internet collapsed. Every fanbase began interrogating every superstar's past comments, relationships, rivalries, cryptic tweets. Then came the message that redirected everything: the player isn't who you think. It wasn't a veteran. It wasn't someone older. It wasn't someone against Aja. A fan account asked, then who was it? The insider replied, it was someone who knows Caitlyn better than anyone in the program. Screenshots confirmed the message was real. Chaos erupted instantly. People theorized the name. Some guessed a rising star. Some guessed someone from their college era. Some guessed a friend turned rival, or rival turned ally. But then a new leak shattered every theory. A recording from inside a strategy meeting. A voice everyone recognized, Kara Lawson. She said, she has a connection with Cece. She understands her game. She can play off her better than the others. That's why her recommendation meant something. Recommendation. One recommendation. From one player. A player Kara trusted. A player whose voice carried weight. A player whose relationship with Caitlyn ran deeper than the public realized. Before reporters could assemble the pieces, another leak appeared, a still image from a private Team USA practice. Caitlyn Clark. Aaliyah Boston. Talking. Laughing. Standing together on the sideline like two halves of the same future. A message accompanied the image. Aaliyah was the recommendation. She told Kara Clark needed to be here. The internet froze. Fans screamed. Reporters gasped. Other players posted cryptic "wow" tweets. Because it wasn't a veteran who pushed Caitlyn in. It wasn't a sponsor. It wasn't a coach. It wasn't a league official. It was Aaliyah Boston. Clark's old college rival turned WNBA teammate turned trusted voice inside Team USA. The twist was too wild to believe, until a second image leaked. Aaliyah and Kara in a private meeting room the day before selections. The caption read, "That was the meeting Aja didn't know about." Now everything made sense. The shift. The roster revision. The betrayal Aja felt. The confusion. The tears. The accusations. And the chilling final message Aja sent to her inner circle, leaked just minutes after Part 2 ended. She played me. I trusted her. And then, at the exact moment the world processed the Boston twist, one more leak hit X. A 3-second clip. Aja Wilson whispering, "I'm confronting her next." But the video didn't show Caitlyn Clark this time. It showed Aaliyah Boston turning slowly, hearing footsteps behind her, and saying, "Aja, wait." The clip cut out. That was the cliffhanger that broke the internet. If you're still here after everything, the leaked audio, the tears, the confrontations, the secret meetings, the roster revisions, the back